right, so let's go a little bit through the technical part. So for those of you that don't do your own CAD, the majority of CAD files, or jewelry CAD files anyhow, come from Rhino. Now, Rhino is the engine behind Rhino Gold, Matrix Gold, Counter Sketch. There's a whole plethora of software applications that use Rhino as an engine. There are, of course, other design programs too, but I think you can probably find the majority of you using a Rhino file, which ends with a .3dm. Okay, so if you're a drawer, follow this, and if you're not a drawer and you have a drawer outside, feel free to share this video. Now, I don't have files, so I'm just going to grab one from our system. Just bear with me for a second. So if you do have Rhino, you'd know where I'm getting to now. You'd have the file already with you. If you don't have Rhino, speak to your drawer to do what I'm about to do now. So essentially, when you get your drawing from your drawer, normally what would happen is that they've split the parts up for you into separate categories. So you've got a gallery up there, and you've got the little under gallery, sorry, you've got the halo up the top, and you've got the little under gallery at the bottom, and you've got the shank section, and you may or may not have gems as it has over here. So all the drawer has to do really simply is just highlight that part, type export, select STL, and give it a name, whatever name you like, gallery, something like that, and then save those 3 files out for you. Okay. With those 3 files in hand, I've prepared a few ahead of time, and we'll get back to this in a minute. Once you have those 3 files, I'll pop a few of them on my desktop. Let me just shift that screen over a little for you. So on my desktop, I've prepared 3 STL files, and I'll show you how you use the uploader. So from top to bottom, as usual, there's various finishing options or unfinished options. Print to de-sprue simply means we're going to print it, we're going to cast it, and cut off all the sprue, all the way around, with a very basic emery at the bottom. Okay, so remove all the sprue material. Print to finish is we're going to print it, cast it, and finish the job for you. Print to raw cast is about 50–60% of everything that comes in, because you are already jewelers and you want to finish it yourself. I literally will just print it, cast it, clip it off the tree, ship it out to you. Print to tumble is one leg further than print to de-sprue. It gets clipped, basic sandpaper, through a tumbler to give it a bit of a shine. Generally, our silver clients use this quite a bit. Okay, so for this exercise, I'm just going to use print to raw cast. The category section is used in conjunction with the My Palloys. Once there's enough data, you'll be able to go through your CAD files and go, I want to see only my rings, I want to see only my earrings, or other stuff that you submitted to us. You can select anything, but it'll help you if you select the correct thing when you do the upload. Subpart denominates what is the actual thing that I'm sending. It's the gallery, it's the setting, it's the shank. That will actually print on the job ticket. So if you have several sections and you need it to be named correctly, you can use this naming convention through here. Now, how to actually get the file in here and why this little window is useful. I think it's probably more useful, or it's useful for both categories, but if you're not a CAD user and you've got files from your CAD user, you can click inside here and navigate to your file. I'm going to put that little gallery section, or the under prong section, whatever you want to call it, in there. It allows you to actually view your file. Make sure that the thing you think it is actually that thing. All right, so you can review your file inside there, make sure everything's okay. And I've prepared a file that's not okay to illustrate this point a little further on, but let's keep moving. So this over here, I'm going to call it a gallery for love of a better name. Okay, and then the important part. Now you're going to tell me which alloy you want it in. So you've got your 10 white over here and your 10 white with a lot of palladium. I'm going to just pick the 10 white currently. It'll give you a price down the bottom. You can compare the price between the 10 white and the palladium 10 white and see what price works for you. The size field, not important here. When I put the shank in, I'll explain to you what it's used for. And of course, if you're doing a tennis bracelet, you may want 25 of these parts, and you can change your quantity here. Lower down the page, you can also change it. I'll get to that when I get there. All right, so then your second part. So we showed you that you can click here, navigate to it. You can also drag and drop. All right, so for the second part, I want to put the little head in. So I'm going to just drag and drop it straight into the web page. And again, same thing. You can zoom in on it, make sure that it is correct. It all looks right. Yep, we cut out all the little divots in the back. Everything's looking hunky-dory, so I'm good to go with that. I'm going to call that little section a halo. And I'm also going to pick 10 white for it. Okay, and again, size is not really important here. Now be aware that you can add up to an additional 4 parts for a total of 6 in this area of the page. So you just click the little add another part, because we do know that I've got a shank I still have to add. Okay, and I'm going to drag and drop the shank inside there, and I'm going to call it a shank. And at this distance, those of you with sharp eyes might have already picked up the problem. Let's see. In this case, I want a 10 yellow gold. Let's cover the naming convention in here. You need this finished at an L. So if you type this in here, our CAM team, when they upload it, will do a quick check, go in, does this thing actually equate to a size L? And they can stop the job and let you know that, literally the file that you've given me is not an L. There are some problems inside there. Or are you aware, that this thing is not the correct size? So if you need to give us a size, that's the field you can put it in. It's a free text entry area, because the size might be many things. It might be a necklace size, it might be a bangle size, a cuff size. There can be various sizes you want to put in here. It can be inches. It can be all kinds of stuff. Just put it in there. The flag does get to us, be aware. It also does flag us to double check that the customer has asked for a size. So now let's get through why this little 3-read window is so handy. So the jewelers with really sharp eyes already spotted the problem. But from that distance, everything looks okay, and then you come in and you review it, and hey, guess what? You're missing a couple of prongs. All right, so this stops you sending us something that's obviously wrong. And in this case, it's so obvious we'd probably alert you of it. But in some cases, it might be more subtle, and you know what the design is. You may pick up on it right before you actually place the order, and you can actually then see what the issue is you're going to have. I'm going to continue as if this part was correct, and I'll show you how to use the chat interface to discuss this in a minute. All right, so we keep moving down. You have the ability to, within this order, so when we finish the castings, also then supply you with some findings, some melee and or center stone from our gemstone section of the website. So this will just pop open a window. It's important to understand that these things are all shipped together. If you want to buy findings loose, do it from the findings area of the website, or the fab part, or if you want to buy loose gemstones that are not related to this job, this is not the area to do it. If you buy them inside here, they're associated to this job. They go onto the same sales order. The interface is really simple. It just pops open a smaller version of the full findings version. An example, had you given us some earrings, you don't want to cast an earring pin. You want to buy some nice press pins, so you can add those 2 pins to your order here. Okay. Accent and melee stone is pretty much the same thing. There's 16 2mm there, 8 each side, so you can go inside here and you can select awesome quality and nearly as awesome quality stones inside there, what shape you want. I need them in round, I need 16 of them, and the stone size should be 2mm. Feel free to use the sliders if you want, if you need to get very specific on those sizes. And then of course adding a certified stone, a GIA certified stone from that area into this order. So I'm going to just continue through. So you've got your 3 parts inside here. We're showing me the bounding box algorithm used for the print fee. The alloys you've selected in, this is like a little double check, just make sure everything is okay. Yeah. Calculate the live price for you. And it's important to note that if you have special arrangements with us, or special alloy fees, this will calculate your specific fee for this area. So after it's calculated, you can see all the values. Usually your print and cast fees will come in this area, but we're having a show special. So for this job, I'm going to charge you a whopping 9 cents to print and cast those 3 parts. All right. After you've calculated the live price and you're happy with it, you may decide that, oops, I don't want these alloys. It's actually the total price is that cheap that I'm going to go up in here. I'm going to change that to platinum. I'm going to move this to palladium, and you can just calculate another price until you're happy with the price you want to pay inside there. Right, really in your control that area. If you have a job reference you want to give it, because your number may not be the same as our number, this will come back to you on the invoice. So you can type your number inside there, CB123456, whatever that may be, and you can then just submit the order. So while the explanation in the video took a little while, really it's drag, drop, drag, drop, drag, drop, select your alloy, click submit. All right. Now let's go into a little more detail. After you submit, you're going to get through your usual billing interface. If you're an account holder like I am, you can either choose to deliver or you can choose to pick up from any of the locations, and you confirm your order. Important at this point, do not close the web page, because this is actually passing your files to me at the moment. All right, it may take a couple of seconds, so just be patient. After it passes the files, it'll give you a PDP number. I'll explain what a PDP number is in just a second. It literally just means Palloys development, product development Palloys, and you are the 12,330th submission since live in June. Okay, this number is important for you to do follow-up on. This number will also appear under the My CAD files area of Palloys. All right, so probably keep that. You will also get a confirmation email saying that you've sent us something and this is your PDP number. But if you detected, like we did before, that on this job there were a couple of problems in the second and asked us a few questions about it, you can go through to the My Palloys section. It may take a second or two to register the job coming in there, so be a little patient, and you can look for it in My CAD Designs. And this is one I did just a little earlier today, so if you give it a second, it'll show up in here and you can have another look at it. If you want to talk about the job that you just gave us, these are all the jobs you've passed to us. There's a few of them inside there, and you can use this little button to have a chat about that job. All right, so I'm going to just select this one over here, and you can send us a little message. I just uploaded my job and see it is missing some prompts. And Shukri, please help me here. Now they'll get this message in their email. They will also, in our version of the website, get a chat notification that you've sent something, and you just submit that, and you will get a chat notification both ways. If they choose to answer you inside of the system, the reply will show up under here. You can also attach images if there's not a lot of clarity. Generally, this interface is used for discussing design briefs, where we're drawing a CAD. The CAD drawers will pass images back and forward, and be aware only you can see this. Okay? So that was submitting a job.